So you're working on your vehicle in the garage and you know that you have a leak somewhere, whether it's an EVAP leak, vacuum leak, exhaust leak, intake leak, but you can't really identify it because our human eyes can't really see leaks. Enter the smoke machine. And honestly, this is the best tool in my garage, hands down today, that I have purchased, only because of that visual reference and how fast and easy it makes finding those issues. Vacuum leaks on vehicles are one of the hardest things to diagnose, in my opinion. There are tricks that people have used to find them, but mainly seeing pinhole leaks in rubber or steel lines or a leak in a gasket is just almost impossible for the human eye to do. You can guess and you can surmise where the leak is coming off based off the sound and things like that. But to be honest with you, we need a visual representation of where the leak is coming from in order to identify and repair it without having to buy a whole bunch of pieces. And that's where this comes in handy, honestly, is so you don't have to go buy a bunch of components, replace a bunch of different things. You could diagnose first and then replace and repair. So let's get into it real quick, and I'll show you why this is my absolute favorite smoke machine. Out of all of them that I looked at, I think this one is the best one for the home gamer. Okay, so right off the bat, how does this thing work? It's pretty easy. This one has a special attachment that other ones don't, but basically, it's just, all it is an element in there, and I'm pretty sure the fluid that it's using is some sort of refined mineral spirits. I don't know. I just know it's called smoke fluid, and that's what you buy. It comes with a bottle of it that lasts a surprisingly long amount of time. And that's pretty much what it is. You get a pokey bit end. This end is like aluminum, which is super, super nice, less likely to break. Plastic ends like this for me get chewed up and they break very easily because I use these things. And I'm poking them into, well, not just rubber lines, but vehicles have steel vacuum lines and EVAP lines too. And so you can poke it in there and, you know, you're not going to get it ruined. I've used this one quite a bit. You can see pretty much no wear and tear on it. Got a nice long hose, pretty much reach anything you need to. It's going to run off the battery, which is actually really nice. That means that if you can't get your vehicle into garage and use garage power, you can just attach it to the battery or any 12-volt battery and run it. And it doesn't take much power, it seems like. The other thing that's really nice about this one is it doesn't require shop air. So if you have a smoke machine, this thing is heating up the element on the inside, producing smoke. You have to figure out how to blow the smoke out of the canister into your vehicle. Now, most of them will hook up to your compressor, and that's fine, but there's two issues with that. One, you have to be near your compressor. So if you're in a shop or you're in an area where you don't have access to a compressor, or you're like me and you stuck the compressor outside because you just don't use it and you're tired of using it, then that's a bit of a problem. And then two, you got to run air lines everywhere, and you got to reduce the airline pressure to a safe operating pressure so you don't blow lines and ruin other things in your vehicle. This is nice because it has a pump included that pumps up to 1 psi, which is plenty for vacuum lines and everything else to find leaks. But it's great because it won't overpressurize anything and it blows a lot of smoke through, which is what you want. And that's fantastic. So it's all in one unit. It's very portable. You just hook it up to the battery and use the switch. That's it. You don't have to run electrical lines and air hoses everywhere, which is what I like. Because again, I'm working in my garage. I may not always have an outlet available. I may not always be near my garage. I might have to do it in the driveway or whatever. It's just simple and easy, and I can just take it over to the vehicle and use it. And that's what I like. Pretty much it when it comes to it. I mean, the clamps are standard clamps, no big deal. You have an on and off switch here. You can run heat only, which I typically heat it up while I'm hooking everything up. And then I run heat on auxiliary. That's how you turn the pump on, and we'll go over that. The other thing that I got with this kit, so the kit comes here, right? And this will do most of the lines you have, but if you want to do some bigger stuff like intake and exhausts, you're going to need a cone kit. And this is the one I went with. I went with this one because it's the same manufacturer, but also you get a lot of attachments, so you get some pretty big stuff for intake and exhausts, and just different sized lines that you can attach to, you know, whatever hoses that you think you need to plug into to find leaks, you can do that. They come with plugs, which is nice, right? So you can, the idea here is with the plugs is that you could take something and you can plug the hole completely, right? And then you can run your smoke machine from the other side and test a section. The other thing is too, if you're like me and you want to test, let's say your intake for leaks, right? But you don't want to take your intake off. You can actually take one of these, plug your intake, and then you could take your nozzle and go right through the plug. So this is kind of a two-in-one deal, which is why I went with it. The fact that every single one of these cones has that and has a plug just gives you a lot more capability and a lot more usability, right? Because now let's say you have a pipe that's this size, you can plug one end and then plug the other end and then pump smoke through the middle of the cone. And this is the only ones that I saw that can do that. There probably is more, but this is the one that I saw that could do that. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's what I want. Less stuff, more options and capability is what I want. Okay, so I probably talked enough. Let's go ahead and we're just going to add a little more fluid to it since I've been using it quite a lot. It does come with a marble, and you put the marble in the bottom, and then you just have to make sure the line is above the marble. And when you fill it, I always just put it right onto the element, make sure it's nice and saturated, and then we're ready to go. All right, so to give you a demonstration, we're gonna actually see if I have any intake leaks. So let's just pop this boot off real quick, or this pipe. Like so. And this is where the kit comes in beautiful. So I'm pretty sure it's this cone here. I'm just gonna pop this cone in like so. There we go. Nice and secure on that end. All right, I hooked this up, very simple. You're gonna take this connector, you're gonna put it into the side right here. Very, very easy. It's got an arrow on it, and then you screw it in. Kind of a nice connection, locks that in there, so that's not gonna accidentally come unplugged. Then this guy, you're gonna plug into the bottom of basically the little controller here, the little switch. And then you get a lot of cable here, like a lot. So even if the smoke end isn't long enough, this cable, you can run this machine as far as you want. I like to set it over here because it does get a little warm, so I set it on top of the engine somewhere. Then we're just gonna put positive to positive, negative to negative, and we're going to turn it on. So we'll let that heat for a minute. It says 3 minutes, but in my experience, it's way faster than that. And then what we'll do is, because we have this cone in here and everything's connected, we just plug it in just like this. We just push our little end in there, and now that, when we're ready, is going to send smoke all the way through the intake. You might be able to see this, but so we've had it on for a few minutes, and you can already see that's the amount of smoke that's come out of it. And this has only been on for maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and plug it back up and turn that thing on. Now let's go look for leaks. And pretty fast you can see we have a leak on the throttle body. So we know it's leaking here. How we'd go about repairing that, I'm unsure at this exact moment, but we've identified a leak. Now we can go figure out and research how to actually fix it and repair it. Let's try another example. Okay, so now we're working on one of my other Jeeps. This is the No Lift TJ. If you guys haven't seen that series, go take a look at it. This is a really fun Jeep and it's been a fun build so far. But let's do the same thing. We're gonna go after the intake, and we'll take a look at another spot while I'm taking all this apart. Might as well hook the battery up and let it warm up. Okay, you can sit there. All right, here we go. All right, that's all hooked up. I'd be surprised if that throttle body doesn't leak. But we got smoke. Yep, got smoke. I should note that you should be doing this in a ventilated area. Oh, that's annoying, because this Jeep is a 97 and the other one you saw, Goldilocks, that's an 06. So no worn out. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Did I speak too soon? Spoke too soon. Okay, so we got some leaks in the throttle body. So if you get a cheap light like I have from Harbor Freight, you can really see the leaks a lot easier. You can see this one's kind of low. This leak is not bad. But there you go. So it got a little bit of a leak in the throttle body there. And as another example of leaks that you could find, I have a twin Aerobee compressor with a plumbed in manifold and then a line back to the locker. And I know I don't have any leaks because I tested it, but instead of using the water method where you spray water, you could take one of the ports out, inject the whole system with smoke, and see if you got a leak anywhere. That includes lockers, actually. If you have an air locker and you think it's got a leak, instead of trying to find it with bubbles, you could inject smoke into the line, turn the compressor on, and force the smoke out and see where your leak is. Now, I'm going to take off one of these lines down here somewhere. It's kind of a pain because of the way I have this mounted. But let's try, can I get one of these off? Okay, so the line I'm going to pull off down here is the line that goes to the controls for the heater and the air conditioner and all that, the blend doors and all that. So we'll inject smoke in there and see if any of that has a leak. All right, let's see if we got smoke. Yeah, we got good smoke. Okay, so the line that we're going for is down here. Right there. There we go. We're just going to plug it in like so. And then let's go look for leaks. And see, that line goes all the way over here and comes over this way and comes in here. Not seeing anything over here. Be very evident if we had leaks. All right. So, no vacuum leak on that side. Perfect. Yeah, AutoLine Pro. Really like it. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Check the link for this guy, and I'll also put these cones in there too. Pretty cool. And well, we'll see you in the next video.